going on? How y'all doing?
Good.
All right.
Good. How you doing? I'm blessed, man. Can't complain.
Coach, you mentioned Briggs in there passing away. I know I only met him as a high school coach, but what did he mean to you, both as a player and then maybe how he affected your coaching style down the road?
He gave me an opportunity to play college football and earn a degree. He affected my college a lot. I remember when I was in college, I was going into my junior year, might have been junior year, when we first found out that he had cancer. And when I seen him, because we was going home and he was like, I got to go do chemos and things like that. I didn't really understand as much. And when I came back and I seen he had lost weight and lost different things like that, I instantly realized how close we were. Like I was crying, talking to him, because it was like, damn, my coach. So then when he passed, it hurt, to be honest. Like right now, talking to you about it, it made me want to cry. Like he's a good man. Like he's a loving man. That's why I get that, like, be around your players and just love your players. Like he loved everybody. It means a lot. And I can't wait to see him in heaven when the time comes.
Is there something about the way he ran his program that you hope people see in the way you run yours?
I just think that I was a tough football player for him. I think everybody that I played with were pretty tough. I think the coaches that coached with him, he had on staff when I was there, Matt Rule, Jeff Collins, Brent Key, like all those dudes were on the staff with him, right? So with all them getting a chance to go be head football coaches, myself coaching, a host of guys that are high school coaches, and he was just, you never know how much of an impact someone has on you until you're mature enough to understand what they were doing. So with a lot of guys, I bet they understood later on. He impacted a lot of people in so many ways. So.
You spoke very highly about Western Carolina in there. What was it about that school that made it the right fit for you and proved to be so beneficial?
It was purple and gold, like my high school. But just going into a new subculture, right? It was a culture shock for me coming from Camden, New Jersey, where I was born and raised. I got to go spend a year at Hudson Valley, and then going right there to Western Carolina. It was just different. You know, it was like what I needed to become the man that I was supposed to become. I ended up, my wife got pregnant there with my oldest son, so that was just like everything to become a man. Like I learned it there, right? I watched coaches be good husbands and do the things that they were doing. My two coaches, Jeff Collins and Matt Rule, used to watch Fran Jr., right? Like they were like my coaches, they were his godfather. Godparents, because I wasn't sure where I was going in life, so I wanted to make sure, like those guys, I seen them do well. They taught me how to become a detailed football player in college, and if something ever happened to me, I told them I wanted to make sure that my son was straight, so that meant a lot from them. I love Western though, man. I was just on the phone with Eddie Cohen the other day. Kevin McCallum came up to visit me. Ryan Nesby just came to visit me last week. I talk to Bruce Lee all the time. Jada Sullivan, Spanky. I mean, a host of them. Like it's all my boys, right? Like I enjoy Western, man. It's a great place to be.
What did you see in Vince Kehres that made you think, okay, this is the guy I want to turn the defense over to?
He was tough like me. I wanted somebody tough that know we can win, that wants to win a national championship, that isn't afraid to say it and go back it up.
Coach, you already know it's about building culture. What are some things that you're seeing right now where you feel like the team's on the right path or right trajectory based on the things you're trying to accomplish?
The things that I put them through individually when we're out there all together as a team. I think the message that they're passing, not the message I'm saying, what they're passing and how they're handling situations with different players on their team that may make mistakes at times, how they're holding each other accountable, how they're holding the coaches accountable. Man, we're all in it together, right? Like it's us, it's our team. I'm just the head coach, so I like how they're doing that. That means a lot to me.
Other than a healthy quarterback, anything else you need to kind of have different than last year to get the number of wins you want?
Make sure all the backups ready. Whatever that may be, right? It's important that all the quarterbacks are ready, but I think we're deep in a lot of positions, so we're able to go and compete, right? We have the size that's needed. We just got to keep working on our craft. So then that way we can continuously get better at our craft so we can go out and compete. It's going to be about adversity. It's going to be about finishing, right? And if you can respond to adversity and then finish, then we'll get what we're supposed to get.
Fran, with Steve coming back, what is the quarterback competition going to look like this camp?
They still going to compete. They got to compete. Steve wants to compete. It's important that we do that. We got some players in there that played, 3 guys that have played college football that were starters in other programs that won and that did well throwing the ball. So I want to give everybody a fair opportunity to go out and compete. So we're excited about it. Steve wants to compete. That's what we like about it. He made sure he made that clear to those guys. Hey, you come here, we're going to compete.
Coach, how has college football today changed the way that you recruit and you're building your team?
I recruit the same. Of course, it's the money, building the team. So you got to make sure that you're raising, fundraising, things of that nature, getting money in that nature to be able to help. But I recruit the same, right? Honesty and consistency. I don't think you should change that. It's just money involved now, but it's still the same thing. So I recruit the same way.
What's the biggest difference in the ACC now compared to
Just all the coaches that are here that can compete. I think Oregon's a new coach from Oregon, right? Him being Tosh, being able to be at Cal. Stanford's coach, of course, James Franklin, Bill Belichick. I just think all those guys are really good coaches. Wake Forest's coach, really good, like the stuff that he do. I think if you look at it from top down and bottom, say, well, I'll put me at the bottom, all those other guys, rank them however you want to rank it. And it'd probably be like a who's who if everybody was to come in here to figure that out. We got 18 years of experience in this conference from Dabo Swinney. You got hundreds of wins from James Franklin, right? Bill Belichick, one of the best football coaches that ever coached on a professional level. Bill O'Brien, who's a known good head football coach, also an offensive coordinator, right? I just think everybody does a good job in this conference. SMU's head coach, Brent Key, is legit at what he does. So, I mean, when you look at our conference, you just go look at the whole conference. We had 11 guys make it to bowl games in our conference, 11 bowl game eligible teams, 7-4 versus Power 4 schools. The viewership on television is at 68% now, which is at an all-time high. And then Syracuse is going to be good.
Coach Lee?
It makes it all better.
What do you like about your special school community?
I'm excited about it. My son got better snapping, so I'm excited about him. I'm excited about Trip. The competition we got at Hunter right now between Isaiah and Jimmy, which is really good. And then Shay just came and Shay the kid. So there's competition for any guys to compete. Like all those guys got to compete. There's guys that can play in all those spots, so that's really good. But our special teams coordinator is he's a tough guy. He's a pro, former NFL player, but in the same sense, he's very, very in the fight, in the mix with the kids. So that means a lot for us.
Is there an area on the special teams, or you just kind of like more the special teams you don't have to worry about as the best kind?
No, I'm involved. I'm in every meeting. Yeah, I'm involved. I'm in every meeting. I got a job to do every day on special teams, just like everybody else does.
Coach, talk about the Northeast recruiting the ACC. What is that like going against Boston College? Is it any different than the rest of the league? How's it go for you in the Northeast?
I'm good recruiting. I don't really worry about those teams. They're my boys, but I don't worry about them in recruiting.
So there's no Northeast kind of rivalry?
We don't compete with nobody in recruiting in the Northeast. I would say Virginia Tech, they do a good job right now. Penn State, it's because they got James Franklin, had that rolling. Everything up there is Penn State, respectfully. I don't really worry about nobody in recruiting, though. I don't worry about those guys when it comes to recruiting because they're worrying about themselves also, right? We're kind of focused on us and what we're doing and where we are to develop our team, what we need. Unless we all got to go get the same player. Sometimes that's right, but it got to be the right fit.
Is there a position group that you look at with your roster and say this is the best it's been in my tenure here?
I don't know that yet. I hope
But
that's
you
the
think
offensive
perhaps
line.
coming
The
into-
offensive line. Yeah, the offensive line should become the best if they're mature enough. My first year, those guys were mature. They were old. So if this offensive line could become one of the best in the country, if they all focus and lock in like I think they can, because Coach Juan and both his assistants, Coach Jeff and Coach Crum, those dudes are like at it like crazy. So if they can happen with the O-line, I think that could be good. And then the depth on the defensive line can help us a lot. So I'm looking for the bigs to step up to the challenge and be the best that they could possibly be.
How much do you pay attention to preseason rankings and everything, like conference rankings? Do you use that as bulletin board material at all?
Nah, not really for the material with nobody. I've heard like guys will tell you, hey, yo, you know they got y'all this. So it's like that.
Coach, what's your message for people who might overlook Syracuse in the ACC conversation?
Just keep overlooking it. I don't really. I mean, they overlooking it, so they obviously don't want to talk to us. So why should I have anything really to say to them? You know, I just like people to keep the same energy that you have. Like, be consistent, right? You're supposed to. They tell us all the time in life, and when we're younger, whether you're man or woman, stand on what you say, right? Your name and your words. So just keep that energy.
Have you noticed anything in Steve that since the injury, perhaps him sitting on the sidelines, he's been able to view the game differently, or perhaps better, or maybe he's more patient, footwork better? I don't know, something like that.
Man, he's getting better. I think our quarterback coach is a good football coach. So Sean Ryan and him have gelled together really close. So we'll see how they go. We haven't got to see him against people, but his arm's stronger. You know, he's stronger looking at him physically. He's hit the weight room more. So
he just told me that he called you and told you that something where 2 months prior you had told him something and he disagreed, but you ended up being right. Is that true? Does that happen often?
I don't know. I like worrying about when I'm wrong so I can correct it, and then to go when I'm right, it doesn't. I mean, I already knew that. So whatever I'm wrong about, I like that to be told so that way I can correct it, and then I could become right more often, because me being right, it doesn't happen a lot, right?
Fran, I spoke to Brian this morning. It's year 3. That's when contracts talks start. He said he's fully committed to you. He wants you in Syracuse. What have your conversations been to him to express that this is where you want to be and here's what you need to be able to be successful?
Yeah, we're just trying to turn this into a powerhouse. Honestly, that's what we want to do. We want to compete daily. We want to work hard. We want to educate these young men to be able to get degrees. We want to educate them on financial literacy. We want them to be able to leave here better than they were when they came and ready to go out and compete in the world at whatever field it may be. That's what I can't wait for that to happen with them. But I'm dedicated to Syracuse. You know, this is, I love Syracuse. Like, I love the community. I like everything about it. Like, I really love Syracuse. Like, it means a lot to me. It's a good feeling when you're around it. And I got to experience both. I got to experience it from a winning perspective and a losing perspective, and I'm responsible for the economy and the people and everything that's going to go on this fall. So I'm happy about this. I can't wait. But I'm happy about Kehres.
And along those lines, Jeff Nixon came in with you, and he's still with you. I don't know, how long does he have left on this deal, if you're willing to share, and how long do you want him up here with you at Syracuse? Unless, like you said, he goes and gets that head coaching job that you want him to get.
We all together. We about to win this thing together. Me and Jeff together. Me and Jeff, that's my guy. That's my old head. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jeff has taught me things and going through other stuff. So we're together. I'm thankful for him. I'm happy that he supports and pushes me. I support and push him. Our families are close. They've been close since we were younger. So, like, Jeff's family. So we support each other. I push him. You know, he's like the big brother that just always getting on my nerves. I want to just go take his shirt and he get mad that I took some dumb things. So I get on his nerves sometimes with stuff. But like, ours is we family. Like, that's my guy. Yeah, he means a lot to me. And as long as I'm the head football coach, which I'm gonna be the head football coach here for a long time, and he's comfortable and want to stay and do it, that's where he's gonna be.
Hey, Coach Brown, what position would you like to see him to improve this year? You know, in your
What position?
Yeah,
the offensive line. They make everything work. Like, I want the O-line to improve. Like if it's one group that could improve, God, please allow the offensive line to keep getting better. Do what Juan wanted them to do. Make sure they take off. Like make them the best offensive line in the country because they got the ability to do it. But if they get better, guess who else gonna have to get better?
The running backs and everybody else.
No, the D line.
Yeah.
So if the O line and the D line better, now we can compete in practice. The running backs will be better. Our quarterback will have time to throw the ball, and just everybody becomes better because they are the foundation of the football team. It's the offensive line.
And I got to ask you real quick, when you beat Miami a couple of years ago, how special was that, beating them in the Dome?
I mean, it was cool because it was a home game. You always want to run it in front of your fans, but you got to do that more often. So that's important that happens more often, which that's who I am, so that'll happen. That's what we're looking forward to make that happen more often.
You mentioned improving and the idea of wanting to correct things as opposed to what's already going right. How has that process for you evolved from when you first became a head coach to now?
Repeat that question.
When you talk about, hey, I'm not focused on what I'm getting right, I'm focused on what I want to improve and correct. How has that process for you evolved from when you first became a head coach to now?
Well, I think it's just wisdom. It's just stuff that you got to start to do so you won't make the same mistake twice. Like being able to do that. So that's all it is, really. It's going pretty well. Got the right mentors and people to call. And I think I got the right staff in the building to be able to ask them questions about things around from them. And so it helps us a lot.
Coach, you talked about Coach Rule and Coach Collins. Both of them were walk-ons during their playing days. With the changing landscape of college football, how roster construction has shifted with the house settlement, how do you see the role of walk-ons in today's game, and how important are they to the college game?
More important now than ever. Without walk-ons, guys aren't going to understand and know what it is to just work and get it from the ground, to be able to do those things. And then you can point them out, let people see how hard they're working, what's going on, what they're doing it for, and it makes us remember who we are and why we play the game.
Dabo was pretty upset earlier this year about the whole tampering and things like that. What is your thoughts on that right now in the state of college football, and how do you correct that, and what needs to be done, I guess?
I don't know. Whatever Coach Dabo say, I'm with it. I don't know what needs to be done. I'm not sure. It's like some things are just going to be done. Some people just going to be certain ways, like, right? Yeah. There's still crime in America, right? It's just certain things that you're not going to ever be able to stop. That's why you got to love your players. Love your players, you're around your players, and you got to worry about it.
Coach, after a disappointing 2025, what kind of messages and philosophies are you preaching to your players to get ready for this coming season?
Win the day. Win the day. Just focus on the day, keep winning the day. The season going to handle itself. We got to go get it now, right? After the third game, I'm not sure who we play, when we play them. I know the first three games because everybody talking about it. I'm not really sure about the rest of it right now. With all due respect to the teams, I can't live that far, right? I'm just kind of focused on now and all that stuff that happens. So we're just gonna win the day.
Fran, when you look at Calvin, talk about young legs. He's been out of his boot for a month or two now. Seems like you're pretty serious about him playing this season. What's that timetable looking like?
Yeah, he should be back soon. He'll get it back. He'll be back this season. I ain't gonna pick a date, then it'll be holding me to the date, but I think he'll be out there to play for us this year. You'll see number 5 on offense on the field.
Aside from him, is everyone else good to go for camp in terms of health?
Yeah, everybody seems well right now. Everybody's doing what's needed to be done. So minor low maintenance things that you got to continuously do with guys, but that's football, right? No one will ever be 100%. Everybody be like, hey, on camp I'm 100%. You're not 100% going to camp because if you are, you haven't been working all that time. It's just by game 1, we want you to feel at your best so you can go out and be ready to compete.
And speaking of that, you caught some unnecessary flack for working out with Calvin and having him around the team. In my opinion, that's from guys who's never played a sport and can't tell you how much it sucks to be away from your teammates. Can you elaborate on that, like why that's so important to make sure no one's isolated mentally?
I mean, if all of us are practicing and you just sitting on the sideline, the trainers aren't even over there focused, they're locked in over here. When you want to be with everybody around them and still feel apart, or because you get injured, should you not be able to be with us, right? I think it works with the mental. Now you go home, okay, dang, coach threw me 100 passes today. I might have been on the cart sitting there, but I caught 100 passes today, so I got better at the game of ball. Now I'm going to class knowing I got something to look forward to move forward and go on. So for me, that's why I like to do that. I keep them involved the whole time.
For the people who called it performative on your end, what do you have to say to that?
I mean, that's their opinion though, so I can't say they're wrong or right about how they feel. I mean, they're free to their opinion on stuff. I just know how Calvin felt about it. I know what his mother felt about it, and I know like where the mental was at after being able to do that. Like it gives him like he was happy, and I think that for the people that seen him and now they know he's happy and he really wanted to do that, and that helped him out that day, not having to go. And I just think they wasn't looking at it that from the big picture. It was just like, yo, why are you doing that already? They wasn't looking at it that way, and if they would have put the perspective, it's not like he's running or walking, he's on a cart, you know. So I just think that just some things people say. It's what they do. It's part of the game.
There's a national.
You talk a lot about the economy around Syracuse and the effect that your players can have just by showing up, being good. And you're not the only coach who does that, but you might be the only coach whose players repeat it back. They went down the line talking to everybody, said what's special about Syracuse. They said you can really impact people's lives. You can help people eat. We know this in this room because half the media's at lunch right now. Like, people put food on your table, that's where you go. But just what about the ability to see, like really see the evidence of changing people's lives has made this a special experience for your players?
Just a lot. There's so many different things we get to do, right? We got a chance the other day to work with the mentally challenged guys that being able to do the things, and so cool. Like when you say you want to impact the community and you truly want to impact the economy around there, you have to be able to be willing and open to touch every little piece of it, right? To be able to truly help all of them, right? And for me, that's important that you do that. And I want to stand on being able to do that, like everybody get that same opportunity. And I got to see it firsthand from winning and then from losing, and just seeing the morale in our community, and just seeing how things was and what it was going into and where it's at. So it's my responsibility to be able to get that thing done the right way, right? Like I guarantee you, and I don't know if this is true, but like in our environment, like I bet the crime is more up depending on the seasons of how things are going and stuff like that. I mean, of that nature. So I just know I play a major impact, and it means a lot to me. And I'm happy that our players are really hearing that, because there's nothing better to be able to do than serve and not look for a reward. Just to be able to serve, like that's what you want to do. That's what we're supposed to do.
Hey, what are your thoughts on the 5 for 5?
It's great.
Yeah, wow.
You can have a good player for 5 years. You don't got to worry about redshirting or doing any of them. You get 5 years from the play. Pretty cool, especially with the way it is now. Some guys might make more in college an extra year, and then they go out into the real world, right? For me, you get to get master's degrees because of the way we do stuff. So imagine leaving with a free master's. Let's say, like I saw someone earlier, they were able to save $30,000 per year, and now they have that money. They got $150,000, and I'm going out in the real world. I'm about to go work for FedEx. I'm gonna start at ground zero, but I'm gonna be running FedEx on one day. This will be my building. Like I'll be the CEO of this department. I could become the CEO of Merrill Lynch. I'm the president of this branch because I was able to stay in school 5 years, get my master's degree, and I saved enough to start at the bottom and learn all the little intricate details that it takes to be able to become the boss or the owner of the company. That's why I like it so much.
Coach, you had 10 wins the first year I met you 2 years ago. What do you have to do to get back there, and what's the most interesting matchup you think this year on the schedule?
Gotta hurry up and get back tonight so I can watch the guys run. Our first game.
Okay.
It's always best the first game.
Yeah.
Being able to go out and have the guys play and get rid of all the anxiety and just go out and compete and have a lot of fun. But our first game is the most important game of the year. Being able to play at home and at the Dome, using the Dome as an advantage to us, because that's what it is. So I'm happy about that.
Sounds good.
Coach,
Got two more.
I covered one of your early opponents in Cal. You and Tosh have been opponents on each sideline before what's been like getting to know him as like ACC head coaching peer, and what you come to expect from week 2.
He cool. I think this team's gonna come and compete. It should be tough. We've seen him be a tough guy, so I think they're gonna be able to compete. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun. I'm happy he's there against somebody to compete. There's somebody that loves to compete and that loves the game of football, and that's his alma mater, if I'm not mistaken. So he get a chance to go back. So it's gonna mean a lot to him. to go in and compete at his alma mater.
Coach, why did you bring these 3 players in? Can you say something about each one?
They're leaders. They're all dynamic, they're all leaders, and they all do the right thing when no one's looking. I think that describes their integrity. So I'm very thankful to have 3 guys like that are have the ability to lead in their own way at any time, at any moment, and they always do what's right for the team, not just for themselves.
Last question.
Fran, you touched on this. My fault, you touched on this a little bit in the spring. You started getting in touch with Coach Kehres like towards the end of last season. When exactly was that, and how did those conversations go between you, Vince, and Elijah? Because that's one of your guys, so I'm sure he trusted you.
We just started talking at the end of the year. I started talking to him. I told Elijah, I said, this is the guy I want. Come over. You'll become the co-coordinator. He'll be the coordinator. Do all those things. But Elijah had to go make the best decision and move for him. I'm so happy for him. And I think he did make the right decision. I think he is in a place where he's comfortable, where he understands, and he knows how to win. Elijah's a winner, so they'll continue to win. But me and Kehres started having those conversations. The first thing was just about being able to win a national championship and win a national championship, being able to compete. And this is the way I want the defense to look, and this is what I'm looking for. And he was like the same mindset, right? Me understanding being at Georgia, was like, I'm looking for this, right? I got the corners, I got the linebackers. I called them with Gary, Twan, and Meach on the phone afterwards and said, yo, come play with us. Like, yo, we ready to go. And Chris Bill. Gary, Twan, Peach, and Chris Bill, like all those dudes were on the phone. So him getting to talk to us with them was like, wow, we got these 2 corners, these the backers already, and then we got to bring in some guys. So it's been pretty cool, and it was great to be able to do that with him. He's a good dude. He's the calm, and I'm like the storm. So we kind of work well together. But we learn a lot from each other, and I like talking to Coach VK. I think he does a really good job, and he's a great teacher. Really good teacher. Let's get yours.
Just third year, you mentioned the flip-flop of the years, year 2, year 1. What's the state of the program going into year 3? Long-time head coach, how do you look at it here?
We about to have fun. I want to have fun. I want our community to have fun. I want Syracuse to just enjoy the season, like us to just like love it. And it's the beginning. We've already not asked that. It's the 3rd year of something special that we've been building, and it's almost where we need it to be. So I'm very thankful for the season. It means a lot. We'll get everybody out to it.